Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books, and I've been covering Marvel and Disney very closely these last several months. The Marvels trailer has been released. It's a disaster. That's not hype. It's not a good trailer, and it's not being well received. The Marvels trailer is the most disliked MCU movie trailer on YouTube. The most disliked, not well received, and if you've seen the trailer, you kind of would agree it deserves it. I watched it a few times, and it did not get better after I'd seen it a number of times, and it also really made me realize, hey, you know what? When you're putting together trailers, you can do things with music, scene cuts, special effects, action. There's a lot of things you can do, and it can be like very close to what the movie's going to be, or it could be different from what the movie's going to be, but it could really make something look a lot better than it actually is. Even everything they did to just make this kind of look kind of compelling and interesting and show you some kind of interesting aesthetic to it, it really felt like it was a bad idea. It never really comes off as something that would be good. It is as if Kathleen Kennedy from Lucasfilm was producing this movie. It really feels like it fits in much more with Lucasfilm. It's pretty obvious that Marvel is not concerned with pleasing any of the fans, and like Bud Light, they seem to be looking for a brand new customer base. I don't think they're going to find it. I think this movie does worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I think there's no way it doesn't do worse than it. We're going to find out in a few months. Let's get into the article. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate you guys. Well, it's not looking good for Kevin Feige's Phase 5, which has already started out as a disaster. If you remember, they just launched Phase 5 with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That movie underperformed, introduced Kang, and Kang was supposed to be kind of the savior of the MCU in that, yes, of course, he's a villain, but what an amazing actor. He's got such presence. He was so good at Kang. He was mediocre at Kang. He gave a competent performance. But now, of course, he's since been arrested for apparently being allegedly accused of abusing his girlfriend, and that was supposed to go away, and it hasn't gone away, and it looks more likely that he's going to probably go away. The Marvels trailer released on Tuesday hasn't been well received by fans, as it's the most disliked Marvel movie trailer on YouTube, which does not bode well for Kevin Feige's Phase 5, which has already started out as a disaster and follows Phase 4, which was a completely horrible mess. Even to the extent where Bob Iger at investor conferences is saying, oh, well, you know, I guess we can't really continue to do sequels of our characters anymore. Maybe sometimes, but do we really need to make 3 or 4 movies based on a single character? It's like, well, why are you asking them? You're supposed to know. And by the way, the answer is yes. As long as the movies are good, people are going to go watch them. And then Bob Iger had to tell them, look, we're going to focus on quality instead of quantity. Why would you produce something in any quantity if you couldn't live up to a certain quality anyway? If they're trying to say that all the Disney movies, all the Marvel, all the Star Wars projects are now going to be incredibly high quality, they certainly haven't shown us anything to think that they're going to do that. But of course, Kathleen Kennedy, like Bob Iger, both have their own definition of what the word quality means, like sticking to their guns and producing the kinds of movies they want people to watch, not the ones that people want to watch. At IGN, the Marvels trailer has nearly 200,000 dislikes on the official Marvel YouTube channel, with 305,000 likes. Only the She-Hulk trailer has more dislikes, with 553,000 dislikes. At IGN, it's more of the same, as the Marvels trailer has 16,000 dislikes to 7,000 likes. And over Rotten Tomatoes, the trailer has 17,000 dislikes to 3.8 thousand likes. The official Marvel Latin America YouTube channel also shows 27,000 dislikes to 19,000 likes. Those numbers are not a good sign at all for a film that has already had its release date delayed twice, and with all those rumors stating Brie Larson hasn't been happy and the film is a disaster, which the trailer seems to suggest, as it's really not any good. To put the number of dislikes in perspective, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which recently bombed at the box office, has 1 million likes to only 28,000 dislikes. Probably the worst MCU movie of all time, Thor: Love and Thunder, which really was unwatchable, has 1.6 million likes to only 90,000 dislikes. What do the fans think of the trailer? Regarding what fans dislike about the trailer, it seems a lot of fans aren't happy that the trailer seems to show the Marvels as another goofy Marvel movie. Remember, this was supposed to be a sequel to the incredibly successful female superhero movie called Captain Marvel. did more than $1 billion, legendary hit, but maybe not really so much. Quote, meh, too much humor and quirkiness going on in Phase 4 and the TV shows. States a comment with 55 likes on the official Marvel Facebook page. Too bad the Midnight Suns and the Defenders are not getting the same kind of attention and priority level with more of a serious tone for adults. Too much Disney mouse ears going on. Just like the last episode of The Mandalorian. Another fan says they really ruined Thor after Love and Thunder. This movie is going to be another flop. Looks like a movie for the kiddos. Marvel needs to add a more serious tone to their movies. Give us the characters we want to see. X-Men, Blade, Deadpool, Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, Galactus, etc. Also, another fan isn't impressed. Quote, I haven't been impressed with anything from Phase 4 so far, except Spider-Man. Add to that 2 mediocre characters as 2/3 of the main stars, and an overly goofy tone. I think I'll wait until this comes out on streaming, comments the fan. Another fan says, I'm kind of bummed that Marvel has chosen to make most, if not all, of their characters goofy. Humor is one thing, but after Thor, Love and Thunder, I'm not sure I want to invest the time and money anymore. Right? Because humor is fun and it's good, but the problem is you need to have like some underlying character story that you're really interested in. You can have a character in silly situations or in goofy situations. Spider-Man is constantly getting into funny situations, but there's still a character there and there's still a story there. They really have pushed their agenda way too far. I don't know how badly this movie is going to do. I've been saying I think it's going to do less than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania because there was at least some enthusiasm for that movie. This movie does not have people out there wanting to see the damn thing. People will ask me from time to time, do I ever think Marvel could make a comeback? And the answer, I think, is always, yeah, of course they can make a comeback. Take a look at Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers 1993. This movie did not do well. The budget was $48 million. It did $20 million worldwide. 30 years later, the Super Mario Brothers movie does $420 million, and it's far from done. It just got launched. This movie will probably do more than $1 billion and be incredibly profitable. There'll be a lot more movies coming from Universal. The difference between these two movies were 30 years and a different approach, and it's successful. So will there be Marvel movies 30 years from now? Probably. I'm sure they won't be like this. This is never developing a following. They're doing their best. They're doing the same thing to Star Wars. Push the agenda, push the agenda, push the agenda. If we just eliminate all the male heroes, if we just push these characters that no one wants to see, if we just make everybody a Mary Sue and don't let them have to earn their powers and show any characters struggling, if we just push all of this out, eventually people will have no other possible choice in the marketplace. Somebody's going to have to start watching our content and consuming it. But the truth of it is, because of companies like Warner Brothers Discovery and Universal and Paramount, Disney, while they have a huge market share, is not the only company out there. DC has always been competing with Marvel over the decades, year after year. Sometimes DC's ahead, sometimes Marvel's ahead. Marvel's destroying themselves with this. And obviously they're aware of it, and they want to create a smaller Marvel that is not empowering to boys and men. And they want to try to take that potential of empowerment and give it to women to follow their progressive agenda. That's what they seem to be trying to do. But as we've seen, the viewership goes down on their TV shows. The quality is not there, and they're not attracting that fan base they want to attract. All they're attracting is the people that are diehard Marvel fans that still want to see Marvel and still believe in Marvel, will still watch some of these things and actually spend money on some of these things, but it's severely declining. And the worse that these movies are, you're never going to get someone to go see one of those movies twice. Super Mario Brothers is a movie that is doing incredibly well. It even is damaging John Wick, which was doing great. It's impossible to compete with this movie. It's just terrible timing to be out there anywhere against Super Mario. And it's also the kind of movie that people will go and see more than once because there's so much in it. It's a tight movie, it's well done, and the fan service for it is off the charts. It's what the fans of Super Mario would want to see. That's how you're supposed to make a project. Disney doesn't want that. They want to leverage the power of the brands and their distribution system and their finances to be able to push their progressive agenda. And that's the only thing they're looking at. Were we able to advance our agenda today? Not did we put out great stories, great content, and make money for our shareholders. Eventually, Disney will get a change in management. But in the meantime, support the stuff you like and don't support the stuff you don't like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is there any chance you're going to go out and see the Marvels? Do you have any interest in this movie? Are you at least willing to see Guardians of the Galaxy? That movie looks like it's going to probably be better than the Marvels. It's probably better than Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. But a lot of people are just sick of Marvel and sick of Disney and don't want to give them any money whatsoever. But let me know what you think and what you plan to do, what you want to watch. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.